Yo, what's good, everybody? So this is another book video, gang. Today we're gonna talk about The Old Man and the Sea, gang. Old Man and the Sea. It's a light little book, you know, it's not that, you know, deep, it's not that thick, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we just read Dune and shit. But, you know, I wanted to read this book just based on, like, I guess the title, gang. You know, even Old Man and the Sea, like that intrigued me right away. It's from one of the classic authors and shit, Ernest Hemingway, right? Can't say I know much about our boy, but you know, I was just intrigued in general. I'm like, oh man, see, that seems pretty dope, right? Like, and motherfucker said it was solid. I'm like, let me pick it up, let me read it, right? It's pretty light. It's not that, you know, like I said, it's not that thick and shit. So it wasn't that daunting to read, right? You guys already know I read fucking Count of Monte Cristo and shit. Just read Dune and shit. Them motherfuckers been fat, bro. So it was nice. It was nice to read something light. Finish it in like a day or two, and like, you know, like it just felt good to finish that real quick. When it comes to the story, gang, let me break it down a little bit, right? So we got our boy, the old man, right? Respect to my dog and shit. He growing up, or not he growing up, but he living in like a small village, I could say, and like it's like a fishing village. Motherfuckers be fishing and shit, right? And he's got a little young blood with him and shit, little boy and shit with him and shit, right? They going fishing, they doing this, they doing that, right? But old man, he's been like, it's like what, 85 days, no fish. He ain't catch shit, bro. Dry as a motherfucker, bro. So it's like, damn. They saying he bad luck. The little boy's parents be like, yo, go on the big boat, fuck the old man, right? Go get some real fish and shit, right? He bad luck. And then he's like, all right. So you kind of follow the old man and the boy a little bit through the beginning of the day. Old man kind of goes to sleep, wakes up, he's ready to go again, right? So now it's old man all by himself. Boom, he takes a boat out, right? He's like, shit, let's do what we do. I know what to do, gang. Right? So he fishing, he chilling, he fishing, right? And things is going swell, whatever. There's some like flying fish. He catches like 2 fish, puts them in a boat, but he's gonna eat those, right? It's not that deep and shit. And then, bro, he catches one motherfucker, bro, and like it's big, it's heavy one, right? He's not coming up. He caught one, is down there. He fighting it, but he's like, I'm gonna pace this motherfucker out. So the fish on his line is like pulling him farther out of the shore, deeper into the sea, right? So he's committed. He's like, I'm gonna hold this motherfucker down. It's okay, like I'm gonna wait it out. We gonna tire this bitch out. We gonna bring him up. We gonna take him home. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be lit, right? So old man doing what he do, right? I feel like a night goes by. He sleeps in the thing, right? It's like this bro goes on like a 3-day journey with this motherfucker, bro. Like it's on the line and shit. He's waiting for the fish to get tired, right? But and as they're going, he's like admiring the fish more and more. He's like, damn, this motherfucker's strong, right? He healthy. He dragging my ass out to sea and shit, man. Like he doing different shit. He on motion right now, right? And like I said, he eats a little bit of the fish. He does this, he does that. And then slowly the fish gets, you know, gets tired. He starts to come up, right? Come up to get some air out of the thing. Old man sees it's like this big ass fucking huge fish. He's like, damn, that's a beautiful motherfucker right there, right? And then there's some like admiration for the fish, right? And some mutual respect there, right? Because he sees it as like a battle. Like the fish is trying to survive. He's trying to get the fish. Him trying to hold the fish down is taking a toll on the old man, right? It's sunny and shit. What's it called? His hands on the wire of the line. It's just cutting through his hand. His hands going numb. Shit like it's cramping. It's this. He's struggling, right? It's a big fight, man. But then ultimately, I feel like the fish comes up, right, for air and shit. Old man, guess that guy deads that motherfucker, bro. And like, boom, old man gets a victory, right? He ties that motherfucker to like the end of to the edge of the boat or some shit right beside him, and he's ready to go back. They start kicking it, bro, and then because he had to like stab the fish to kill the fish, right? The sharks be coming, bro. They smelt the blood in the water and shit, man. So now you got sharks on his ass. The sharks are trying to eat the fish. Now the old man gotta yop this fucking sharks, bro. So he straight kills a shark, kills another shark. But every time a shark pulls up, it's taking a chunk of the fish with him, right? So boom, he's killing sharks. At the same time, sharks are eating it. He loses the knife at some point. He loses the harpoon or some shit. He ties his knife to the end of an oar, starts yapping him like that. Crazy shit going down, bro. And then finally, like, he gets back into the fucking shore and everything. And at that point, like, he's fucked up, right? Physically, he barely slept, he barely ate, right? The fish is damn near fucking donezo now too. But he's like, I fucking, boom, goes, passes out. The little boy sees him, helps him, and shit, starts crying a little bit, right? Then everybody goes and sees like what he caught. Like, he's been gone hella days. There's a search party for him and shit. They see what he caught. It was a big ass fucking skeleton of a fish and shit. It was huge, gang. You know what I mean? It was like a swordfish and shit. And that's that, right? Like, that was the journey of the old man in the sea, man. So I really fuck with this story, bro. It was a good story, quick story, light story, like I said, man. I think it was interesting. You know how it made me think about how people talk about, like, write what you know, right? Because I say that to say there's a lot of like fishing jargon that I didn't fully understand, right? Some small, terminologies that kind of went over my head a little bit, but, didn't really hinder my experience of reading the book just because it, made enough sense. But it was interesting to me, right? It was like, yeah, I could never kind of write this kind of book to the level of detail or realisticness, because I ain't never been fishing and shit, right? I don't know, that's just one kind of small thing I took away from it. It was interesting that it makes me think about how, like, when a motherfucker writes a book or writes a screenplay, writes whatever, right? You really gotta know what you're writing about just to stay with, like, the believability of that shit, bro. Because you can't be, unless you're writing some, like, I feel like that's why, like, fantasy may be easier to write. That's why there's so many sci-fi fantasy type of books, because you can do whatever you want with those, right? But something like this, you gotta keep it logical, right? That's one. And I feel like I'm really when I was finished the book, I really sat there thinking, like, what does the author want me to take away from this, right? Because it was interesting, right? Because you follow the old man trying to hunt this motherfucking fish down, right? It's a long streak, no fish, bro, right? Like, he's really, I don't want to say desperate. He never comes across as desperate, but 85 days, whatever, how long it was, no fish, bro. That's fucking with you a little bit, right? That's like, fuck, man, like, I ain't getting none. And so now he finally gets something. It's a rowdy fish. He locks it up on the boat, and like, that's gotta boost the ego. You gotta be happy about that, man. That's a dub, right? And then slowly and surely, fucking all these sharks come, take chunks of the fish, your hard work, right, straight gone. And I'm thinking, they're like, fuck, should the old man have just cut the fish loose? Should he have cut the fish loose, bro? Would that have helped him, get home quicker? Should he have cut the fish loose earlier on, right? Like, why did he fight for it for so long? All these kind of small things, right? Because ultimately, when he got back, right, what did he really have to show for it? I guess it was the skeleton. I guess people could see how big the fish was. They were impressed by that. But, he was excited to, like, eat the fish, do this with the fish and all that, right? But he ultimately couldn't do shit with it, bro, right? Like, the fish got yopped, and, he's back to square one. He couldn't sell the fish, right? That was one thing too, right? Make some money off the big fat fish, right? For the meat and everything. So, I don't know, man. I guess I still think about it of, like, what the author wanted you to take away from it. One, I'd say, is, like, perseverance. I feel like it was really important to show how the old man, even being so old and shit, he still held it down. He was ready to fight for what was his, bro. Take what's ours and shit. He was really taking what was his, bro. He was about that life, bro. So I take that. That's one thing I'm taking away. Just really sticking with your goal, sticking with it. When push come to shove, keep your head down, keep fucking, bring the dog out of you and shit, right? And just keep going, right? Keep pushing through, no matter how hard shit get. And it really showed me, like, I don't know, it made fishing seem pretty beautiful to me, right? Just that battle with the fish, right? Like, he fighting for his life, you fighting to capture that motherfucker, bro. It's a battle, bro. So just for him to paint fishing in that type of light was very interesting for me, and really, I feel like did have an effect on me to the point where, like, I'd be interested in going fishing now, gang, But damn, when what I really think about, bro, is, like, them sharks in the water really taking what was his, bro. You know what I mean? And he held it down, like I said. He was killing them, the sharks and shit, right? Part of me was like, damn, I wonder how many shark buddies he got, right? Imagine if he could like hook all the sharks together in a line or some shit and bring those back with him. That would have been lit, right? Then it's like he caught so much on that one adventure, but the sharks just like, you know, he just killed him and let him go, right? So I don't know, bro. Like what would have been the right move for him in that time of like difficulty where he's like really fighting for what was his, but slowly over time, they just took it all, bro, right? And did he really need to gloat about, you know, the size of the fish, right? What if he came back empty-handed? What would people have thought? Would people have believed his story or not, right? Because now I guess he had the skeleton of the fish, right? So people can believe like, oh shit, he really brought something. But you know, sharks got it or whatever the fuck they may think. But say he never had that with him, would people believe him, right? And then I don't know, it just makes me think about like the adventure, bro. But I guess that's kind of just my own life journey, the own lens I'm using. Because I feel like I'm in a stage in my life where it's all about the adventure, right? It's not about me going to a place to like get some photo op or some shit just to prove to people that like I hit that spot. It's more about being there, getting my stories, you know, shit like that. So on one level, I think of it like that, like bro, that's a legendary story the old man's gonna have. He's just adding to his fucking lore and shit, right? As one of the GOATs in the game, right? But I don't know, bro. I feel like I'd Google it or some shit just to see what, you know, the author really wanted you to take away from it. Or maybe, you know, at a different stage in my life, maybe I read it when I'm an old man or some shit, I'll get it, right? Because I don't really like Googling shit like that, like the themes of shit. Because it's like, if I didn't get it, there's something wrong with me. You know what I mean? There's something, like I missed something. It's not, I don't feel like, I don't want to put it on the book to be like, oh fuck, like I didn't get it. It's a lame book and shit like that, right? But yeah, man, I really fuck with this book, man. Like, it hurt me, bro. Like when the sharks were fucking eating away at the fucking fish, man. I was like, nah, bro, that's his fish, gang. But you know, it is what it is and shit. That's life, though, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gonna win some, you gonna lose some, right? And the sharks always gonna be on your ass, bro. They always gonna try to take what's yours, bro. We can't let them take what's ours, but you know what's ours, bro. Can't let them do that, bro. So you always gotta fight the sharks, bro. Sharks in the water, deadly, bro. Always gotta watch for the sharks. Always gotta be ready with the yapper for the sharks, bro. That's what I took away from the book, bro. Always stay strapped with the yapper on you, bro. Cause fuck the sharks in the water, gang. That's what it is, gang. That's what it is. Have you guys read the book? What's your guys' thoughts? You know, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Is there any other Ernest Hemingway books I should read, gang? Leave it in the comment section. I'd be down. I feel like he's a good author. You know, this is the only book I've read of his, but it was a good book. I fought with the book. Let me know if there's anything else worth reading from him, bro. I'd be down. But yeah, man. What was your guys' takeaways from the story, right? What do you guys think the theme of the book is? You know, let me know. And yeah, man, my bad if I spoiled the whole story for you guys and should just skip that part, you know what I'm saying? But solid read, gang. I fought with it. All right, it's been your boy HDTV. Peace.